you don't have purpose. And if you lack purpose, you conform. How do you know you're a conformist? You go where others go, you say things others say, you do things not necessarily because you enjoy the activity in and of itself. You do it in order to be socially accepted by that small group you confined yourself into. You do things others do. You're afraid of being yourself because you're scared of what others might think. Oh, he thinks he's better than us. You dread being alone because you have to confront that still voice inside of you telling you you can be better. You know you can be better, but but you don't know how. Even worse, you don't know what to become. As tragic as this sounds, this is the life of the average man. How do you find your purpose? People say it's passion. Follow what you love doing. But that is not the case. That is not always the case because I love playing video games. I wanted to become a pro FIFA player. But I quickly realized it's only the 0.0001% that actually makes money from that niche. That niche is overcrowded because it's easy to play video games. Plus, there's an element of luck in that niche. The niche is overcrowded because it's easy to do. There's so many things that are out of your control. Is it your fault that a player committed a handball? Now you're 1-0 down. You have to look for ways to recover. Some days your keeper might act like Buffon. Some days he's Victor Valdez. It's not your fault. So there are so many facets of that niche that is out of your control. The element of luck is high. I don't like to be confined by hope and luck. I like to control. I like to have at least 90% control of whatever I'm doing, of the inputs of my actions. Yeah. So there's so much degree of luck. I quickly came to the consideration that it's pointless. It's pointless to play video games. It's pointless to follow that niche. So what do I do? I want you to understand this. If there's nothing you get from this video, listen. Your purpose is not fully formed. Don't paralyze yourself with perfection. Don't try to meticulously plan this rigid outline. You're not only wasting your time, you're not only getting cheap dopamine, you're not only wasting valuable time you would have spent taking action and put yourself in this infinite loop of feedback and analysis. You're wasting time. So, what do you do in this case? Imagine your 6-year-old self planning your current life, the kind of relationships you have, the kind of friends you meet, the kind of job you pick, your interests. When you were 6 years old, I totally agree that you wanted to become an astronomer. Exactly, but your beliefs have changed. I'm not saying not to plan at all. I'm not saying to endorse laziness because this is the kind of message most lazy people love because it appeals and reinforces their laziness and their inability to take action. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take action now, start moving. More tools will be found along the way. Not even more tools, better tools, because level 2 is always going to be more difficult than level 1. Level 3 is going to be difficult than level 2, and level 1000 will be more difficult than the previous level. But what are the differences with this level? Using from, let's borrow the analogy from a video game character. As you traverse the board, you get power-ups along the way that ultimately makes you stronger to defeat that evil. If you have power-ups at the beginning of level 1, guess what? You wouldn't even notice it because you would have built an entitlement mentality. That is how you think life should be, but it's not. Start where you stand. Second is you would fail. The likelihood that you will attempt a thing and get success immediately, especially if you have zero experience in that field, is 0.0001%. You're more likely to become the next president of the United States than get success in the first attempt. You're also more likely to walk out your door and get crushed by a meteor than to get success in the first attempt. You're also more likely to get eaten by a T-Rex than to get success in the first attempt. The difference between a champion and a loser is because The champion persists. The champion sees failure as a stepping stone to success. You should use if you should don't see failure as a person. You're not a failure. Failure is an event. Failure is a platform for you to analyze, get feedback, and grow. That's all it is. When you fail the next time you fail, get excited. It validates that you're trying. I guarantee you, if you were on your bed on page 64, you wouldn't experience that failure. Instead, what you will experience is more guilt because you let yourself down. You told yourself you're not going to do it, and guess what? You're on page 65 now. That's the first thing. Don't fear failure. Imagine if you were the one with the mandate to build the electric bulb. I guess we'll still be in the age of candles. Mister, I tried 5 times and it didn't work. Therefore, I'm going to give up. At least I tried. Most people don't expect to win. This is the converse. This is the polar opposite of what I was saying. Most people expect to fail. They don't want to succeed. They just want to gain the satisfaction that they actually put in effort. They want to rid themselves of the psychological guilt that everyone is doing something and you're not doing anything. So they want to actually try. They know they'll fail. And this is the wrong mindset. If How do you know you're one of this person? Whenever you fail, you say to yourself, I knew it. And you were right. So change your mindset. Believe you can actually succeed. And most of you have been hurt from past experiences where you actually believed that this would work, and you were met with failure, scorn, ridicule, and distance. Then on your second attempt, you are scared to believe that this would work because in the event that you're met with failure, you don't want to feel that unhappiness. You don't want to feel bad when you're met with failure, which is totally understandable. You're human. Humans are habit of patterns and past experiences. The only reason you twist the doorknob and you believe with instant affinity that the door is going to open is because in the past you tried it and it worked. So in a case where you believe that an activity, either it's a manifestation or a job or an entrepreneurship endeavor, or you're trying to become a catalyst of some innovation, you actually put in effort, you believe that this would work, and it totally crumbled. You're scared of going through that experience again. You don't want to believe because in case you're met with failure, like I said, you don't want to be hurt. But see failure as a stepping stone to success. Stop focusing on the failure aspect. Look at what you can learn from this experience. I know this is one of the most overused concepts in the personal development space, but life is all about feedback and analysis. Look at what you would have done better in order to make this work. Why did this crumble? Sometimes it's all about feedback. I don't want to balance it and make it complicated, but just this first step is enough to get you started in life. At this juncture of the video, you're saying, okay, I've heard all you said. You just profiled me. I do things not necessarily because I want to do them. I do them because I want to fit in. How do I get better? First, you have to be comfortable being alone. You have to be able to thrive in your own skin. You see, in life, we've been taught this flawed philosophy that you always have to have friends. But when you begin this part of personal development, your frequency is no longer in congruity with your current friends, but you've not developed yourself enough to attract your future friends, therefore making you alone. When you're in that position, you're not weird, you're not doing something wrong, because I commend you for the fact that you're taking accountability and you believe that everything in your life is your fault. So you see, whenever you're in that position, you believe that there's something you're doing wrong that is deterring and repelling people from you. And you're right, but you're in the wrong perception in the sense that what you're doing is repelling people from you, but in the right way for a good reason. Because if you keep on doing that which you're doing, it's only a matter of time before you attract the right people that ultimately builds your growth. That's all it is. So that's for the first kind of people. The second kind of people who would comment on this video are, I know what you're saying is right. I'm tired of conforming. I'm tired of watching porn. I'm tired of doing all of these things. I'm tired of paying all our bills without getting anything in return. I'm tired of pretending like all I want is just friendship. Tired of lying to myself. How do I start becoming better? You just pass the first step, which is truth. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with that person. The problem with you is not necessarily relationship. You don't have to start thinking about relationship at this point in your life. I don't know, but when I was a younger man, I struggled with these same problems. But currently, I don't have this kind of problems because I'm charismatic, I'm intelligent, I'm funny, I'm handsome. When I approach a girl, she's already giggling. So you're trying to fix symptom by learning how to talk to women, going on onto this YouTube platform, talking to women, financing things you can't afford. That is the logical solution. You have to think about it from a psychological standpoint. Instead of making the train faster, make the experience more enjoyable. Create perceptual value. Instead of learning all these things, why don't you build yourself? And all those things you're chasing will come naturally. I don't struggle with women anymore. For a fact, in fact, yesterday I was scrolling through my old texts and all I kept doing was laughing because I was amazed at the metamorphosis I've undergone. So when you grow, there are certain things that no longer becomes a reality. I know I'm going off a tangent, but back to the second kind of people who have no idea what to do. They've agreed that you're wasting their time. So how can I become better? What is the next step? Is there an actual step to go, to take rather? The first step is, chances are excellent that you're desperate. Don't buy courses. Except they teach you specific skills like computer programming, machine learning, etc. If it's a skill from your favorite influencer on 5 steps to become a millionaire, 5 steps to do this, it's a charlatan nature. I don't want to give you a breakdown. I'll do that in subsequent video of how these influencers use the charlatan nature. Maybe they don't have the knowledge of its history, but they're certainly replicating the principles of a charlatan. The first is, don't buy courses. You're desperate, you don't know nothing, you've not developed yourself, you've not been enlightened in that aspect to distinguish the difference between a premium course and a free course. The only reason I know what kind of stocks courses to buy is because I'm enlightened in that endeavor. When I see a stock course and at 2 videos into the course, I can tell if this is actually worth paying for or for free. Then if it's for free, then I don't just buy those people courses and I do not recommend it to my friends. How do you know what not to buy? The first thing you have to understand is, stop taking, there are so many personal development advices out there. Stop buying courses that teach you on personal development. I don't want to elaborate on this topic. I'm trying to keep this video as information dense as possible. So that's the first one. The second is, take action. That's it. I know you don't know what to do. I know you're broke. I know you're confused. Turn off YouTube, crack open a book, go for a run, start going to the gym. Like the example I gave, your life doesn't have to be rigid. If you're fortunate to have a goal for this season, then start working towards it. Identify 3 levers you can pull that would ultimately propel you towards that goal or nudge you towards that direction. It might not happen in a day, but one thing is certain, it's going to happen. That's the second thing. So just keep pushing, keep taking action. It's like shooting. When you shoot, you know how far off you are. And the moment you shoot, you're always going to keep adjusting the scope to meet your distance. It's only a matter of time before you have a clear view of what you're aiming at. As always, guys, I hope you found this video valuable. I hope it stimulated thoughts. It was thought stimulating and made you reflect on your own life. I hope it was valuable. I believe, no, I hope, not a dog. I hope it was valuable. It was valuable. And I believe you use it to improve your life. As always, I'll see you in the next one. It's a pleasure speaking to you guys.